Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel, and we're at it again with Triumph of St. Catherine. This time, at the request of Patreon subscriber Dylan, I am playing it in a Miracles shell, blue-white Miracles. We got some twists in here, in addition to the normal things you'd expect in a Miracles deck. First off, Triumph of St. Catherine. We know about this one. 5/5 blank, Miracles for 2. If it dies, it shuffles in with the top 6 cards to your deck, and then it's in your top 7 cards somewhere, and it's coming back again. Zephyrim is also in that deck. It's a 4-mana 3/3 with Squad 2, and Squad is, as an additional cost to cast the spell, you may pay 2 any number of times. When this creature enters the battlefield, create that many tokens that are copies of it. It has Flying and Vigilance, and it also Miracles for 1 and a white. This is kind of like Entreat the Angels, except it makes fewer and smaller bodies on the Miracle, but it's reasonably castable just as a card from your hand, which Entreat the Angels is not. We're just playing around with new cards here for the most part. I think these Zephyrums might be better as an Entreat the Angel and a Narset, or just 2 Narsets, a Narset and a Teferi. Pick your poison, but we're playing with new cards. I'm in here for this. Other Miracles in the deck include Terminus and Temporal Mastery. Because this build of Miracles is so creature heavy, Temporal Mastery is a lot of fun. Temporal Mastery is also dope with Planeswalkers. I got 3 Jace the Mind Sculptors in here. We got to set up these Miracles and counterbalances somehow, and Jace the Mind Sculptor is still the gold standard of that, even though it gets obliterated by Orcish Bowmaster, who will be our greatest nemesis today. Hopefully we've built the deck with enough removal that we can fend that thing off, but Jace is the guy for our problems here. Counterbalance just mentioned. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you can reveal the top card of your library. If it has the same mana value, counter that spell. If you're setting up the top of your deck, this gets a lot easier to do. We got Brainstorm, Ponder, and Portent in here, in addition to Jace, to set up all these Miracle on top of the deck stuff. And the most suspicious technology in this deck is 3 Chrome Mox. This is not unheard of. There have been blue-white control decks in the past that played some Chrome Moxes. Usually those decks had Monastery Mentor and Daze in them, where you power out something deeply messed up like Monastery Mentor, and then use Daze because it's turn 2, not turn 3, actually protects it, makes a monk, and then you're off. Having mana advantage in a deck like this one is pretty exciting if we can counteract the card disadvantage of playing a Chrome Mox. And 3 copies of Jace is pretty good at doing that. The version of the deck that Dylan sent me actually had 4 Chrome Mox and 4 Ancient Tomb, and I thought that was way too much. They were not actually going to leverage that in any conceivable way. But I'll keep a few Chrome Moxes in here, because I do think jumping forward on mana is something that might trip up opponents. Turn 1 Counterbalance, flipping Triumph on turn 2. These are things that are possible if you got some Chrome Moxes in here. Then you resolve a Jace or flip a Terminus and you're caught up on cards, everything's cool. That's the theory anyway. Let's jump in and see if this is going to work. This is Blue-White Miracles. Introducing Club GG, the mobile platform that lets you create your own poker clubs and play with your friends anywhere. Creating your own club is easy. Just download the app, set up your club, and invite your friends. But that's not all. With a Club GG membership from just $9.99 per month, you can win prizes weekly, with over $200,000 in prizes being awarded each month. You could win millions just by playing on Club GG, so what are you waiting for? Download Club GG today and start playing with your friends. Subscribe using code BOSH for a free 7-day membership. Visit us at clubgg.net. I'm on the draw for round 1. Island Ponder Keep, baby. Funny story, this is actually the second round I've played, but Magic Online had an emergency downtime right after I got completely schmurdered by turn 2 uncounterable Muxus on the play out of Goblins, and then Magic Online died and reset the league, so that never happened. The opponent mulled to 6 and played a Flooded Strand. Oh no. Miracle revealed. Ponder. Not actually revealed, but Magic Online does stop in your draw step if you draw a Miracle, whether you're ready or not. This is great. This is exactly what I want to see when I keep a 5-lander is Ponder into Brainstorm, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Let's go. Urza Saga. Okay. I suspect Cephalid Breakfast over there. They mulled to 6, Flooded Strand, and Urza Saga in the same deck. Cabal Therapy. Yep. This is Cephalid Breakfast. I'd be surprised if they hit. They probably named Plow or Force of Will. Yep. And I have neither of them. But I do have Brainstorm to mix it all up and maybe have one of them next turn. I'm drawing Brainstorm. Jace is under it. I can Brainstorm twice in an emergency situation here. I am going to play around Daze with my cantrip. They are a Daze deck. Ooh, interesting. I don't think setting up this Terminus is going to be useful. If I get another turn, if I stack Terminus 2 down and then Brainstorm after they commit their combo creatures, I can Terminus on their turn next turn cycle. But that means I have to redraw all these bad lands and the Terminus itself, none of which I actually want. A Terminus and leave Volcanic Island and go back into the deck. And I'm going to Portent target them. Or, no, target me. Portent target me. Okay. I'm going to put... The Chromox is really interesting here. And I'm not going to resolve a Jace next turn into Urza Saga, but I do like the Plow and the ending. If they shove their combo this turn, they win. However, I did just see 7 cards on my turn, and they have Urza Saga going. I would be chill here if I were the Cephalid Breakfast player. My top card right now is Chrome Mox, a card that I don't really want. I think I'm going to try to set up Triumph this turn to at least beat the Saga half of the plan. Because if I sit here with Swords of Plowshares in my hand for the entire game, that doesn't help me move forward at all. Yeah, I'm going to fetch here just to play around Pithing Needle, which usually isn't in main decks, and I probably don't even care if they do use it. But still, I would rather not get cheesed if I don't have to. There's Shuko. They're going to equip Shuko. I'm going to Brainstorm now. I might just bike a Natty Miracle, and sometimes you do. Terminus, hello. Put back Basic Island and Triumph. I do have a lot of miracles in this deck. There's like 8 of them. Either fetching and response. Are you a stifle build of this deck? What's going on here? Worm's Chant. Okay, yeah, that does work. Smart. Okay. Well, I can't miracle. Worm's Chant does work, but we got an Worm's Chant out of their hand. I take 4, and then I stick Triumph and hang out with Swords of Plowshares in my hand. Okay, re-miracle. Make sure that I use the basic island to do this because I need all my white. Play Tundra. And I could Ponder here and hold up Plow, or I could Prismatic Ending the Shuko. I'm actually going to do that. Because now that I have a 5/5 lifelink in play, I don't care about 3/3s. But taking out half of their combo is pretty sick. And they're actually 2/2s once I do that. I'm worried about Teferi Time Raveler here, I guess. Ball Therapy. Resolves. They probably name Swords of Plowshares this time. I might still lose here if they're 2 cards. Okay, they still name Force. Swords of Plowshares, we get away with it. If their last cards are Nomad, Illusionist, Force, or Daze, we do still lose here. Teferi. Alright, that's a powerful friend. I do have red mana for Prismatic Ending in my deck, but we also probably lose next turn. Okay, I'm going to let Teferi resolve. Let them bounce Triumph, rather than spend my Plow right now. Because I'd like to draw a fetch land, exile Teferi, and pass with Plow still up. It's a game I want to play here. I can even Ponder into the fetch land and the line still works. Alright, Ponder. Hook it up. You know what to do here. Uh-oh. I could Brainstorm, but it sees all these cards again. I'm going to just shuffle this. Well, there's a Brainstorm. Now we have to do it anyway. Yikes. Okay. I could resolve Counterbalance at least and have a 1 on top of my deck. I can't Miracle with Teferi in play. That's just how the mechanic works. If I put back Terminus and Swords to Plowshares, then I can Counterbalance. And they can't resolve a Shuko or Nomad this turn. The next turn I can Jace and try to lock them out through Counterbalance every turn. Fingers crossed this works. It's the only plan I have left. And Prismatic Ending is really my only good answer to Teferi Time Raveler, so I'm not going to mess with this construct. They plus Teferi, attacking me for 1. Basic Plains, 3 cards in hand over there. They can hardcast Force now, which sucks for me. Here comes that boy. My top card right now costs 6. Oh, I actually could have stacked the Solitude to beat this if I was in the Miracle Zone. Damn. Yeah, that sucks. I had all the tools here to actually beat that if I planned 2 turns ahead. And Miracle players need to be doing that. I was not in the zone. It's been a few years since we had to do this. Okay, I think I'm going to plow the Construct now. Hopefully they fear the counterbalance too much to go for it. Ponder. Going to decline. I'm going to make it look like I have a 2. If I reveal the Terminus, then they just win. The best thing that could happen here is if they try to stick Nomad while they know I don't have a 1 on top, or they suspect I don't have a 1 on top, and then I can Solitude it, and then I'm less worried about the other thing. But no, they're going to play well instead. We got a Kath Miracles. Magic is healing in the chat. I concur. This is what honest Magic the Gathering looks like. And now my top card is random. I don't know. There's a lot of 1s and 2s in my deck. They got to fade both, or delete their Teferi to do it, which turns on Solitude. All right, deck. Don't fail me now. I revealed Tundra. Okay, we lose. Yeah. Okay, so this game actually came down to me stacking a Brainstorm wrong because I haven't played with Counterbalance Miracles in 4 years. And that's okay. That's why we test. I'm just going to look at what's in their list and then concede. Not trying to waste time, but there's actual information on the line here. They're playing Triumphs as well. That's the information I'm looking for. What's your side plan? Are you Stoneforge Mystic? Are you Triumph? Are you Bowmaster? It looks like multiple Triumphs. Brazen Borrower. Dread returns. Mana value is still 4, even if they pay 0 for it, so that Tundra on top of my deck's not helping. And the Thoracle for Mand. Alright, cool. That was winnable if we played tighter. Okay, Pyroblast coming in. I think I like Hull Breacher here. I definitely like Dress Down. Meltdown is really good against the Saga stuff. Containment Priest is good against the combo. Force Negation is good against a Fairy, but I'm bringing in Pyroblast. And that game... So 2 things happened that game. I bricked on a fetch land in 7 looks, and then I also stacked my Brainstorm incorrectly with Counterbalance. Either way that breaks, that was pretty close. I'm slightly concerned that Zephyrim is just a terrible card, and I'm quite confident that it's not a card I need for a Force of Will combo matchup. Temporal Mastery. Also, on the cuter side, Chrome Mox. This matchup's not necessarily about speed, and I'm boarding in my Meltdown. Just a little friction there. Dylan's original list had Biforce instead of Meltdown in this slot, specifically to protect your own Chrome Moxen, I imagine that choice was for. But I still think Meltdown is just so much better than Biforce that you just play this, even if it sometimes kills one of your Moxen. It's fine. Solitude, Triumph. Terminus is still fine. I could shave a Triumph even, and Solitude, Jace, just go proper Miracles with barely any win conditions. I'm into that. And I think the last 2 Chrome Boxes become the 2 Hull Breachers, and this is just how we do this. I also had a chance that game to fetch red, but I didn't think I would need it, and just went for white. I did need white at the time that I fetched the red, but there is a plateau in the deck, so if I had gotten plateau, there were multiple opportunities to win that game. Okay, Brainstorm, 1-lander. I'll keep. Brainstorm, pass. Tundra, Ponder from opponent. I'm not going to end step this Brainstorm. I'm going to go to my turn, draw a card, see if that's a land. And if it's not a land, I get to see a card deeper. Another Force. All right, Moment of Truth. Don't do it to me. Yikes, they did it to me. Well, we're Brainstorm locked and having a bad time here. I am going to actually put both Force of Wills on top of the deck because that's what they've been naming with Cabal Therapy. And if they therapy me to try to clear the way, they can't win this turn anyway. It takes 3 mana to win with Cephalid Breakfast. Okay. We're just going to discard. It's fine. I'll lose a Terminus here. Cycling Step Through in the end step. Got an Illusionist. Discard Terminus. And I might lose here because I don't have 2 layers of protection because I played around Cabal Therapy. All your decisions matter. Once I'm Brainstorm locked, I'm a little more willing to be risky because I'm already so far behind. Like, let's just high roll and try to play around everything. I think I discard a Kath here. I still have hopes for my white removal spells. And 4 looks missing on a land and a cantrip in this deck with 3 Portent, 3 Ponder, 3 more Brainstorms. That's a lot to go wrong. Okay, so they've got the full boat Aurim's Chant plus combo set up. What I can hope for here is that they used Aurim's Chant as Hymn to Turok and just hope I don't have any additional interaction. And if they can back up, and I think you fight over Aurim's Chant if you have Force of Will, just to be sure. Okay, well, now I lose next turn for sure. Cephalid Breakfast, if you're not doing anything, they have so many ways to lock you out, it just doesn't even matter. Here's my land showing up after it doesn't matter anymore, because I'm a mana short of answering Prismatic Ending, and now my handful of white removal's turned off. I keep this hand 10 out of 10 times, by the way. It just hasn't worked out so great this time. While they are passing, if I draw a land here, all right, Brainstorm, let's do something. Find a Pyroblast. Set me free. Oh no, it's getting worse. Okay, I think Meltdown ship has sailed, and Kath is not helpful in my hand. I'm going to fetch for... This is interesting, because my hand's full of white cards that don't work until I cast a red card. Whether it's Prismatic Ending for 3 or drawing a Pyroblast and zapping it. I should probably just go Volcanic Island right now. Okay. Brainstorm. Okay, found a fetch land. We did turn on all our colors. Put back one of the Solitudes and the Plow. Fetch for Tundra, cast Ponder. Okay, the coast was clear last turn and they didn't combo me out. I am going to cross my fingers this time and hope that they just don't have it in their hand. Teferi can afford a minus, though, to draw an extra card if they have stuff going on here. Or if they don't have stuff going on here. If they need some action. Okay. They either just drew that or they were messing with me last turn. Alright. False hope. I mean, the coast was clear last turn. They didn't combo. I got completely set up from one land. All of a sudden, I have a handful of answers and multiple ways to kill Teferi. And then they're like, oh, now I do have the combo. So, like, okay. I mean, this match is over. But if you keep a hand with Island Brainstorm, there's 19 lands in the deck. And then 9 additional cantrips. So even if you miss the land, you don't end up Brainstorm locked for very long. And you can just refire off your island on the following turn. That's 27 hits out of 4 cards. Yeah, I'm keeping that hand every time. I don't feel bad about that. It sucks we missed, but I don't think a mistake was made on the mulligan, which is the important lesson. Sometimes you lose, even though you made reasonable decisions. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 2. Let's test this Chrome Mox thing, because this is potential proof of concept of a turn 2 Jace the Mind Sculptor, which we're going to need, because his hand doesn't do anything else. Island Portent target me. I'm going to play around Wasteland because I can. There is a Scalding Tarn there. I'll take it. Brainstorm at the bottom, Plow under it, and then I would like the Scalding Tarn in my hand. That's the thing that is least susceptible to discard spells. I played Island Portent, and my opponent said basically the thing. Yeah, Island Portent keep. Put it on the books, it counts. Show off. They didn't shuffle. Let's see how shoving turn 2 Jace the Mind Sculptor into this blue Ponder mirror ends up going for me. And it could be anything. Like, I don't know that the Epic Storm has a basic island anymore, so maybe they can't be anything. But there's a lot of decks that could play island. And I'm putting a white under the Chrome Mox just to buffer out. Moment of truth. Question mark. Don't do it. Let it resolve. Oh, we're in. Screenshot for socials. This is what we're here to do. Do I play around Lightning Bolt? I think I do. Plus target me. Counterbalance. I would like that card there. This is exactly how we drew it up. Opponent's got a Misty Rainforest fetch. Some of the Delver decks are main decking Pyroblast, which is some nonsense. I mean, it makes sense. Not that kind of nonsense, but it's the kind of nonsense that I don't like. And okay, we're against Bant Beans. They will probably have Leyline Binding to answer a Jace this early. I'm going to start brainstorming. Got to refresh these cards now that I know I'm not getting bolted. Oh, hello, look who's here. Terminus on top of the deck. Remember I just mentioned Leyline Binding? I'm going to play Counterbalance, and I'm not going to play Portent. Okay, pass the turn. Please Leyline Bind me. Please Leyline Bind me. Wasteland. Okay, I don't really care about that. Uro. I care a little bit about that. I should set a stop in my own draw step when I play this deck, so it stops every turn and my opponent doesn't know when I have a miracle. Because I am about to draw a miracle that I'm not going to cast. Brainstorm. There's a 5 on top, or could be on top. I could also just cast Force of Will. And I'm going to put back Mystic Sanctuary in the Terminus again. And I'm going to hold up this interaction. And Portent's so weird. I think it'll be relevant at some point in this game, but that time is not now. You got a Hedge Maze. I wonder if this is the Plow Under deck. Yeah, I think Bant Uro deck should probably just play one Hedge Maze. That doesn't mean anything yet. Another Misty Rainforest. My deck basically can't beat Field of the Dead, so I hope that doesn't happen. Brainstorm with Jace. Let's go. Force of Will, Prismatic Ending. Still don't have any 3s on top. Do I think this deck is actually going to have Leyline Binding at this point? I only see Bant mana. Uro is not always the engine in 5-color beans, and there's multiple Uros here. Yeah, I'm going to put back Mystic Sanctuary. I could put back Terminus Mystic Sanctuary. I guess if I portent myself, I could change the order anyway. Okay. I'll put back Terminus and Mystic Sanctuary, and then I am going to portent myself. I would like to get some velocity here. Ooh, look at the cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Kath is on top. Don't shuffle. I can flip Kath on their turn. Now I kind of wish I'd put Force of Will on top, but I can do that next turn maybe. Ketria Triome. This does look like my mana base of that silly deck. They trigger Kath. It's a miracle. Let's put this on the stack. If they force it, they draw a card. Probably also have some large number of Swords of Plowshares that have been rotting in their hand up to this point. What I hope they do is Leyline Bind. Come on, play into my smart play. I've been sitting here forever, waiting for this. Prismatic Ending, X is 3. Cast for 4 colors. Okay, I don't have a 4 on top of my deck. I'm not beating this opponent if I don't have Jason play. Ooh, we won that counter war. I wasn't expecting that against 5 cards in their hand. Should probably check the mana value distribution of my deck. Oh, I literally don't play any 3s. Zephyrim just messing me up here. Yeah, these should be Teferis or Narsets just for counterbalance consideration. Wow. I'm like frantically spinning for a 3 that I literally don't play. Good stuff. This is the content you come for. Uro number 3, which we know we can't counter with counterbalance. Yikes. Okay, that's a lot of Uros. They did not put a land in, which means their hand is 4 spells. Keep drawing this Terminus. Brainstorm with Jace. Mystic Sanctuary can put a 1 or 5 on top if I need it. Yeah, I'm going to put back Mystic Sanctuary and Terminus. I think it's time to give up on that. And I'm going to cast Ponder and use my Tundra to do it because they've been sitting on this Wasteland forever. Okay, another Triumph. I don't think this is what I need. I'm going to shuffle this. Brainstorm's always welcome in a Miracle deck. Attack with Triumph. Wonder if I'm supposed to ending the beans or just save it for when Uro resolves. Yeah, I think I got to work through these Uros. Here is an Uro right now. I'm not even going to blind flip knowing that I cannot counter it. Yeah, massive spew in deck building. Though the counterbalances, I added those to make it more miracle-y. Dylan's build with the Ancient Tombs and 4 Chromoxes was more creature-y. I just didn't fill in all the gaps I was supposed to. So this spew is on me. And I looked at the Zephyrims when I rebuilt it into this more grindy Jace-centric Miracle deck, and I was like, these should probably be something else. And then I wanted to try the new card, but the Zephyrim just being 4 drops, oh, hello. It's a miracle. Put back Ponder and Force. Or, yeah, Ponder and Force go back. This way I win a fight if they try to force my Triumph. I love a Blind Miracle. Okay, I'm not going to use Counterbalance's ability because that costs 2. What I am going to do is, on my turn, fetch for Volcanic Island and then Brainstorm the Force back to the top of the deck to make sure that my Prismatic Ending resolves. And I have to fetch first if I want this line to work. Get Volcanic Island, Brainstorm with Jace. Ooh, the Zephyrim's here. I actually do want that on top of my deck. We've seen Prismatic Ending for X equals 3. Or wait, no. I literally just was talking about how I need to defend my stupid spell. Shut up, Brian. Stop it. Okay, Zephyrim, and then Force. Prismatic Ending. Red, white, blue. God bless America. That's gone. And we're in for 10. There's a lot of damage. May or may not matter versus this opponent, but it is a lot of damage. Oh no, the field is here. This is the card I said I can't beat. I mean, the double Kath is pretty far ahead of this, though. We did it, Reddit. Counter to Solitude. Finally, Counterbalance did something. You just have to have the correct mana values in your deck sometimes. But that also means being triggered. They are still up 2 cards, despite getting 0 for 1. Uro is going to work. This is Uro number 4, right? Yeah, alright. 4x Uros in this deck. And they have plenty of life that they can afford to take 10 from these Triumphs to pressure Jace with the Zombos. Okay, they're pondering now. I could fetch for Portent right now, because I actually think Zephyrim could win this game. But I think I also actually want Force of Will in my hand, so I'm not going to fight over this Ponder. And I don't know if Plow Under is in this deck, if this is the full Insano brew, but this is my kind of jam over here. Draw Force of Will, keep brainstorming with Jace. Yeah, I could just cast Zephyrim. I was probably supposed to fetch first, huh? Okay, put back. No, I am going to leave Zephyrim on top. Put back Prismatic Ending and Zephyrim. And if I have Force of Will under Zephyrim next turn, then they can't really fight it on the stack, and then I have the Flying Vig Squad. I kind of don't want to lose my Jace now, though. Okay, I'm going to put back Scalding Tarn, Force of Will, and then just cast Zephyrim, which is technically legal. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can squad this once, and that's enough to protect Jace. If I had thought about fetching first to leave my counterbalance where it is, maybe that ends up better. Force of Will, baby! Well, it all worked out. They still drew 2 cards to get 0 for 1. Beads are so sick. Okay, Zephyrims are online. Opponent's at 4. Field of the Dead's going, but I'm at 41. Wasteland. Uro will bring them to enough to survive a Zephyrim hit. The cool thing about Jace, though, is if they get ahead on the board. Okay, well, Swords of Plowshares is something I do want to interact with. If they get ahead on the board, Jace can I can flip a Terminus and then start plussing. Okay, I'm going to target Ponder. I think that's the best of the 3 cantrips in my graveyard right now. Okay, Plow again in response. This is random. Let's get it. We got it. Swords of Plowshares revealed at random. Counterbalance. Doing the damn thing. It's amazing what happens when you actually have the mana value of your opponent's spells in your deck. Okay, there's a 1 on top. They've got 3 cards in hand. They're at 1 on board. I can answer Uro, or I can at least present an answer to Uro. They are gonna just delete 2 zombies to put damage on Jace. These are 3/3s, right? Yes, okay. Block, block. Jace is down to 3, which should be the same as 1 or 9 versus their deck. I'm just going to brainstorm with it forever. I don't think they're going to have a lightning bolt. Uh-oh, something's being cast. Supreme Verdict. They said, okay. Yeah, all right. I'm not going to reveal Ponder. So here's the thing I was talking about suddenly being in a different spot in the game. My Triumphs go in Triumph goes in. I got 2 of those in my top 7 cards. I guess one of them could end up the 8th card, right? Yeah. Suppose that's how that's worked. I've never had 2 Triumphs die at the same time before. Brainstorm with Jace. Okay, there's Triumph. I'm going to put back Swords to Plowshares and Triumph. And there is still an Uro in the graveyard. But I have Solitude in my hand and multiple Prismatic Endings. I think I want to collapse their draw engine now. Take all your beans away. Ponder. And I could put the Swords to Plowshares in my hand and the Triumph on top. That answers Uro. Okay, here we go. There's a 5 on top. I got a threat ready to go. I got your threat answered. Up the beanstalk. There's not a 2 on top. Decking them also might be reasonable here. A Field of the Dead triggers off of a Caracas. That means Uro is going to be harder to kill. I am about a minute behind on clock, which is going to come up if we have to. No matter who wins this, we're going to have to play more games. Another beanstalk. Okay, they're just right back in here. At least they don't have 4 of them in play. But if decking them is the strat, then Field of the Dead makes decking pretty unlikely. I imagine there's still some lands in this deck, even though they do have a lot of them in play. But if they're out here triggering beanstalks and Uros and stuff, hopefully the clock chews them up a little bit. And I am going to let the Uro trigger resolve because I kind of want them to Force of Will my Swords to Plowshares while I have this 5 on top of the deck. They'll probably just bounce Uro, but that feeds my decking plan, and either way their 6/6 isn't in play. Oh wow, it just worked. Not interested in Caracas, let's go. That buys me a lot of game. And I'm just tapping all my wastable lands. I don't know if they're ever going to move in on this wasteland, but I don't want to find out. Brainstorm with Jace. Keep the goods coming. It's just more cats. Perfect. Kath. I'm going to hold on to the land because I'm brainstorming every turn. They can't Solitude. They can't Force of Will. They can Swords to Plowshares. I will use Solitude. I guess I'm losing Jace here regardless. Oh, they didn't fetch in the end step. They might be out of fetchables. Yeah, there's a good chance they're out of fetchables here. There's a lot of lands in play for them. All right, Solitude, go get them. Force of Will doesn't work. Their own Solitude doesn't work. Exiled 1, block the other. F6 from there. Now it's about time. I'm at 45 life. All their Uros are in exile. Prismatic Ending, X equals 3. Okay. You finally got me. Jace is gone. Time to fling Kaths around. That Jace was in play for 8 turns. That was pretty good for a Jace. Miracle Kath. And I'm just going to F6 from here. It's about clock at this point, more than anything else. I'm way up on life, way up on deck. I'm up on threats as well. Plow under! Wow, have you ever countered a plow under with counterbalance before? Well, we've seen Aspiring Spike counter a Confusion Rings. But, okay, this is the deck. I wonder if this is the donor again. They have a different name on Discord than they do on Magic Online. This might be the actual person who inspired the deck again. Sorry if it took me this long to recognize you. I'm in the zone here, trying to be a miracleist. Swords to Plowshares, well, you know that works. But you also know I got another one. Brainstorm resolves. Yeah, it didn't board out a Zephyrim. So I have Zephyrim 1 Kath. I have a Zephyrim, some number of Kaths, and 1 Jace left in my deck that can actually win the game. And there's a Kath coming right now. There it is. The counterbalance is blind again, and I'm going to play my fetch land to get a second look if I need it. Okay, they're doing something. Solitude. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't have another Mystic Sanctuary to stack a Force on top. We're just taking a blind look here. Come on, deck. Tundra's on top. Okay, I'm going to fetch because I don't want Tundra, obviously. I'm going to grab another Basic Plains and just F6 from here. It's going to take them thousands of years to kill me with damage. 57, and they're finally ahead. 57 life to 13 cards, now 12 cards. Counterbalance is still in play, flipping blindly. I have some number of Kaths and Jaces and Zephyrims left in my deck. Prismatic Ending. Reveal. Revealed Scalding Tarn. Okay, my counterbalance is gone now. I'm drawing Scalding Tarn. Okay, well, they now have 11 minutes and 12 cards to deal 57 damage to me. With no Uros in their deck. And they appear to be out of fetchables as well. And they should be able to do the math from here. Like, if their deck even can inflict this much damage before it runs out of cards. Ooh, all right, just Surprise Solitude in the end step. It's +3 damage per turn, but -2 cards in the deck. I guess they could plow under their own Mystic Sanctuary. If they play 2 plow unders, they can plow under their own Mystic Sanctuary and one of my lands each turn. But that is card positive for them still because of the double beanstalk. We're officially in weirdo mode. Ledger Shredder, that's dangerous in this spot. Conniving is not optional. They do have a lot of damage, though. They can actually win the game with 8 cards left. I just need to do something about it first. This is the best magic there is, by the way. Terminus. Shit. And I'm holding lands back in case I draw a Brainstorm. Let's see if there are Brainstorms still in my deck. Yeah, it seems that I still have 3 of my 4 Brainstorms available. Found another land, another Zombo. Field of Dead's been insane. It is in every control mirror. If I draw a Brainstorm, it's likely to force a Connive, which is great. All right, they're starting to waste me off here. Yeah, just take out my red at least. I'm on deck. Flip Zephyrim, or Counterbalance. I guess I should play out some lands. That should have been Scalding Tarn. I should play out some lands just in case I flip Zephyrim. And now with Counterbalance, I have a real reason to see things. I just gave them Blooded Strand for free because I'm playing fast. They know about the Scalding Tarn. That was just, don't do that when you're playing for real stakes. Now I can't F6 though, because I might need to manipulate my Counterbalance. Okay, I'm dead in 2 hits here. Terminus, Terminus, Terminus. Not Force of Will, not Force of Will, not Force of Will. There are Miracles decks that play more than 1 Mystic Sanctuary, and that would actually be great here. Okay. Did they find the line? Did they get it done? Can I flip a Terminus? Come on deck, Zephyrim. Temporal Mastery, let's go! I mean, this is way worse than like any other card, but also technically gives me another turn. And if they try to force this and I force back, they lose 2 cards. Okay, yeah, that was literally just burn some clock, I guess. Which is one of my resources here. Terminus! All right, Ponder. Let's go. Get this Ledger Shredder conniving. Solitude, Ponder. Is Solitude even good? Or do I need Terminus here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 9. Okay, I'll take the Solitude. There's a Ponder on top for Counterbalance right now. I'm going to play Solitude, which forces them to connive. Then if we end up in a counter war, it might get weird. They discarded Force of Will. They were like, I have it, but no thanks. Oh, they had it anyway. Well, I better shuffle my deck because the Ponder on top does not counter this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm 1 mana short of... All right, reveal a 5, reveal a 5, reveal a 5. Revealed Island. Okay. What an epic battle. 2 cards left in their deck. If that Ponder was Brainstorm, I could have had Force of Will up for this, but yeah, beating me with 1 card left in your deck for exact damage, bringing me down from 57 or whatever that was awesome. Also showcases the power of Bant and Uro versus straight up blue-white, because they can grind like that. Okay, I believe I want Blood Moon and Hull Breacher in for this. Pyroblast is probably good enough. Cards that are not as important. I don't need 3 Chromox, though the turn 2 Jace did deliver. I think I want 1 Terminus in the deck. It's a tool I want access to, but neither of us are really blazing out with creatures, though that Ledger Shredder is suspicious to me. I can probably drop 1 Force of Will if I'm bringing in other interactive things. -1 Swords to Plowshares. I gotta deal with the Uros somehow. Blood Moon mostly deals with Uro. Yeah, that's fine. Zephyrim actually was great that game, and I would have been hyped to Miracle the second one at that last turn. The Triumphs were great. Got me to the point. I mean, Temporal Mastery is just bad. Sorry, I know we're trying to have fun here, but Temporal Mastery is just big bad. And probably does not belong in the deck if we're trying to build Kath Miracles. All right, I'm going to mulligan this. I'm going to try to play fast because we're under pressure. It's pushing down on me. I will cast my spells in the second main, I guess. I got confused by the draw stop in my upkeep and just clicked through my main phase. Okay, yes, yes, yes. This flips a Kath on turn 3 and puts Hull Breacher in my grip, which is a cool spell for the matchup. Oh, we both had Island Ponder keep. Bunch of sickos. Okay, Plains, pass. Miracle Kath. Let's get her in here. Get it started. And I'm going to hold on to my Mystic Sanctuary. Playing the tap land here is fine, but Mystic Sanctuary is bonkers in long games like the one we just played. They got a Swords to Plowshares. Something's happening. I'm not going to plow the front half of this Uro. I think with my life total being so high and the time on the clock, I kind of like the idea of them investing a second card into Uro, or a turn into Uro, into my Swords to Plowshares. I had to play the Mystic Sanctuary there. It's not worth holding back a land drop, but I did give myself the chance to maybe succeed on that. All right, let's see if I could breach some halls. That's in. Do you have a removal spell in response? Or am I treasuring up? Yeah, treasures in the bank. The Caracas. Okay, backup Hull Breacher. Gonna attack. The only flash creature I saw was Solitude, which they would have pitched already if they were ever going to do that. Portent, target me. Look at the cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I want Force of Will in my hand as soon as possible, and then I can flip Kath next turn. Okay, Force comes into my hand here. They are pondering just to look at their cards. I get a treasure here, which also turns on Force of Will. The Ponder's also card number 5 for Uro, starting next turn. And I'm not going to drop the backup Hull Breacher. That's my blue card for Force right now. I'm about to flip a 5/5 into play. I don't need more pressure. Kath is in. Hull Breacher's going. I can plow a surprise blocker if they have one. We know their deck has a Supreme Verdict in it. Kraken a fetch. They have 2 mono white sources in play, so they'll still need a land if they're going to try to cast Uro. Yeah, Supreme Verdict it is. Hull Breacher's dead. Kath is back into the top 7. And I have a backup Breacher here. I'm going to take a draw before firing that in, though. Okay. I'm going to Prismatic Ending the Beanstalk. Cut their engine out. They still need a green source before they can Uro. And I have Hull Breacher plus Swords to Plowshares to fight over Uro. Okay, please work. Another one. I didn't draw the blue card I was looking for to protect this thing. And Ponder has resolved. They're looking at cards as we speak, and I'm going to get another treasure. We did not shuffle, though. Prismatic Ending. Ouch. All right. See you later, Hull Breacher. You're pretty good. We ate 3 draws and got 3 mana out of that string of Hull Breachers. Okay, Portent, target me. Force of Will. Look at the cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Don't shuffle. I'm going to draw Force. I think with them at 3 cards in hand, no engine, no second green source, if I just hard cast a Force and then play my land and cast a Kath, we'll be in good shape. Okay, Uro from hand is fine. And they did not deliver on a land. Their hand is all spells. I'm going to fetch my Volcanic Island and just cast Kath from hand here. Just make you answer that. I am going to force a Solitude. I can plow Uro, and I would actually like to attack my opponent a little bit here. At some point in my life. Okay, Pyroblast is great. Now we got 1 minute interaction up while we bash for 5s. Life from the Loam targeting a bunch of garbage, sure. That turns on Uro for next turn. Fetching down to 11. Okay, another Uro now. That's fine. I'm not countering the front half of any Uros. I'm countering the back half. I'm still netting damage. I'm gaining life. Even if they do stabilize this board, they're going to have to get through 28 life in 3 minutes. Ponder. Shuffle 3 lands. Get rid of them. Prismatic Ending. That's not bad. That also challenges an Uro. And I think I'm actually going to plow the Uro rather than Pyroblast it, because I can use plow to fight over the... Or I can use Pyroblast to fight over the plow, but it doesn't work the other way around. Plow this Uro. I know it gains them a bunch of life, but it's fine. There are many resources at play here, and life is just one of them. One of the many. Up the Beanstalk has arrived. Okay, they can waste me off red here, but I have treasures, so we're fine. The Plains. I'm not going to play the Plains. It doesn't help, and I might draw a Brainstorm or Jace. Once again, I'm going to let Uro resolve, and I'll Prismatic Ending it this time. I don't think this deck can do 38 damage in a minute 52, which is a shame that it plays out that way, because I am excited about grinding this into the dust forever. But I'm fairly confident we're going to win this match. Solitude's really good, though. And it draws a card, clears my pressure. They tapped Caracas to play it, though, which means I can delete the Uro here. Ooh, the Zephyrim. 1-2, 1-2. Okay. Yes, I'm going to make at least 2 Zephyrs here. Zephirinos. Cast with Miracle and Squad. I'm going to squad it once. Boom. 2 3/3s. Powerful stuff. Now I actually need the planes to get rid of the Uro. Blue, white, black. Let's have some fun. Target Uro with this, and then my last card in hand is Pyroblast if they force, which they didn't. Zephyrim Squad. Proper Miracle. Swords to Plowshares. I'm at 46. Ponder. That's not what I'm Pyroblasting. Another Solitude, okay. And if there's a win anywhere in here, this is what it looks like. But 46 seconds to deal 49 damage, it's not going to happen. Sorry, opponent. But this game is not winnable for you anymore. Even though you would probably win it, given infinite time. Though even saying that, like, this isn't like making a combo deck that has the onboard lethal, click through it, and then they time out. This is literally like, I could flip my one Terminus or a Kath at any time and just be stable, even though they have so many more resources than me. Something's happening. Endurance, okay. That's a good one when they were so close to decking game 1. Fortunately, it doesn't matter here. And it's not going to be enough to add to the clock. Okay, this was an insane grinding matchup. We are going to win from the clock, but Uro showed its power and control mirrors. I had a turn 2 Jace and they beat it. It was in play for like 8 turns. Uro, Field of the Dead, Beanstalk, like the new school engines versus old school engines. And this was a good showcase. On to the next round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. I'm on the draw for round 3. My opponent has kept 7. I'm also going to keep 7. Iganjo, Seat of the Empire. This could be Death and Taxes. It could also be... I've seen some mono-white humans decks kicking around because Triumph is a human in addition to everything else that's going on there. Blast Zone, Iganjo. No Yorion revealed. We're going to see a Terminus? Okay. Soldier Stompy? What's going on over here? Oh, I'm going to cast my Brainstorm while I still can. And, okay, Chrome Mox actually unlocks the Swords to Plowshares, which is a cool interaction. I'm going to put back Kath and Flooded Strand in that order. And then I draw Flooded Strand this turn, play Chrome Mox, and I can flip Kath next turn. Would I rather exile Plow or Brainstorm? I think it's Brainstorm, because I have access to white, and if I find Prismatic Ending to clear this Chalice, Swords of Plowshares is probably going to be good against this mono-white Stompy deck. Whatever's going on over there. Okay, are we taking the initiative? Karn the Great. What a middle finger! Holy smokes. All right, well, look at me with my Chrome Mox. Feeling good about stuff. Okay, well, I'm boarding those out. Okay, I draw Triumph of St. Catherine. I would like to reveal, in response to the Miracle trigger, I'll fetch for a basic Plains. These are how the rules of the game work. And then the trigger resolves, and I'm allowed to pay for my Miracle. Okay, that's in there. Let's hope that's good. And I imagine Karn can wish for Ensnaring Bridge or something and stabilize here. But they would need to play a card if they do that. Even if they have Ancient Tomb for Lattice here, I'm at least bashing. Okay, Karn minus. They did get Ensnaring Bridge. They do have to play another card here, which will probably kill City of Traders. Cursed with too many cards in hand. I know the feeling. Okay, yeah, they played Blast Zone, which deletes their city. Okay, I'm looking for Prismatic Ending at this point. Is my best card to draw. I will be pretty content to slam a Jace the Mind Sculptor onto the board and move cards around, though. Rainstorm. And this Karn will be a problem eventually. I imagine it can answer Jace at some point. Do I even want to flip a second Triumph into play? Probably. It Triumph's on top of my deck. If they play a creature, I can bounce it with Jace, and that affects their hand size. Cycling Timeless Dragon. Okay. Their deck is cool. Karn is multiple turns away from latticing. Wasteland's pretty good. Anointed Peacekeeper. Okay. They can name Jace with this, and I can still activate it. Or I just don't care about a lot of stuff that's going on over there. If they wish this turn for Liquid Metal Coating, this game could spiral out of control pretty quickly. Swords to Plowshares. Okay, they named Plow, despite having Chalice on 1 in play. I go for those. But none of that's going to matter if they just get Coating here. I have 1 turn to find my way into a... Yep. There's Coating in their hand. I have to find a 2 to go on top of my deck. Do I play 2s? Only the 1 other counterbalance. Okay, yeah, this deck, if it's going to be a counterbalance deck, needs significant help. I need to find the 1 other 2 of. I don't think I could actually afford to miracle this now. They're just so far ahead. And yeah, I gotta... Oh, I can bounce Peacekeeper. Oh, I could kill Karn. Never mind. I should have miracled that. Damn it. I did the math of how many cards are in their hand before they wished with Karn. And yeah, I could have had 2 of these in play. But I guess it doesn't matter because the bridge is back on next turn. Maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't, but whatever. I think I have a 1 on top. Yeah, I'm just not even going to use 2 mana here. This was a really bad no flip. Just didn't plan out my turn well enough. Son of a biscuit. I mean, pressure's off, though. Mox Diamond is my top card of land. I think it's a 1. I'm still going to try it. Yeah, it's Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Well, they named Swords to Plowshares on the last Anointed Peacekeeper. If they think I have 2 of them, maybe they'll name it again. They should name Jace, because this affects activated abilities, too. Okay, they named Jace. Good job. Another Wasteland. That is handled. I do play a lot of basics. Let's find our way out of this. Brainstorm with Jace. That cost me 2 mana. Yikes. I mean, Force of Will is welcome. I did find the Prismatic Ending, a card that I'm very excited to have around. I can put Kath on top of the deck to miracle that next turn. That way, at least I'm not getting bashed by their next removal spell. They can start charging Blast Zones to do stuff. I do have a 5 on top if they play a Solitude. Please play a Solitude. Touch the Spirit Realm. Interesting. Do I care about this? Target artifact or creature. Anointed Peacekeeper can't attack. I'm about to miracle another Kath. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, that's over there now. Liquid Metal Coating. That can resolve. It doesn't do anything. I guess Touch the Spirit Realm. Like, they could have exiled Jace with Touch the Spirit Realm if they turned it into an artifact first. This is fun. Fun little puzzle to solve. I can't activate Jace if I miracle Kath. So I'm just not going to miracle Kath. I think hitting my land drops is more important. They're locked under their own ensnaring bridge right now. And I have Force of Will in my hand. Yikes. Okay. Well, I'll put these 2 Kaths back. Maybe next turn I'll Kath, and then the turn after that. Because I want to kill them as soon as I find my fetch land. Okay. I'll miracle these 2 Kaths over the next 2 turns. And then as soon as I can access Plateau, then my Prismatic Ending's on and I'm bashing. And I have double force, double blue card in the meantime. Okay, they're charging a Blast Zone, though. Is this non-land permanent? Yeah, it is. Okay, this can kill Jace, or they could take it straight up to... All right, well, Jace it is. I think that's okay. I have another one. And I'm not planning on using Jace next turn anyway. Okay. Jace is exploded. Another Peacekeeper. I don't want to Force of Will this, but I'm going to. I think it's annoying enough. Like, if they name Prismatic Ending, it'll take me 5 mana. Or wait, does it just cost more? Oh no, that actually doesn't affect much. Okay. Would have affected my second Jace. I think if I only had 1 Force of Will, I wouldn't have spent it there. But with 2, I have a little breathing room. And now I just got to draw a fetch land and I can flip this game on them. I don't know my top card right now. I put back 2 Kaths on my last Brainstorm. Well, I know that won't answer it. Okay, this is annoying because my only routes to red take multiple tapped lands into play. But also this card is not killing me, so I'm not going to freak out about it. Okay, cool. It's a multi-turn line now, but I think that's okay. In the Arrow Wasteland deck, they've used 2 of them in their top decking. And that's not the plateau itself. That is a Scalding Tarn. Okay, they're charging up their Blast Zone. They're getting it up to 5. I could also Prismatic Ending Chalice and start raining plows on them if that becomes a thing I'm interested in. Smokestack, let's go. All right, I'm going to reveal my top card. It's the Plateau. Okay, well, I'm going to Force of Will Smokestack. I don't think I could beat that card, but I respect it existing in the deck. Well, I drew the Plateau, which means it is shields all the way down to Wasteland. But hopefully I start winning the game next turn. I just need them to brick a little bit. Okay, they played another Ancient Tomb. They've taken a lot of damage from their tombs this game. Eternalizing Timeless Dragon. Good call. That is down there. Okay. Play a Tundra tapped, Prismatic Ending, the Ensnaring Bridge, red, blue, white. And suddenly I'm bashing for 10 lifelink into their board of creatures and 12 life. Let's go. And they have draws that I imagine could flip this, like Karn just replays Ensnaring Bridge or gets Lattice right away or some shit. I'd rather kill Archon of Emeria between these two. And there's... Oh, if I respond to Triumph's Trigger from the graveyard with Mystic Sanctuary, then the card is just somewhere in the top 7. It doesn't matter anyway. I guess putting Force of Will in my top 7 cards is worth doing. Mystic Sanctuary, target... Oh, Prismatic Ending's way better than Force of Will. Okay, Prismatic Ending is somewhere in my top 7 cards. And pass the turn. You're at 7, I'm at 29. You do have a lot of cool stuff and probably a lot of powerful draws in your deck. Okay, they're cracking back. The race is on. Chalice on 1. Reveal my top card. Brainstorm on top. Okay, that's a good Chalice on 1. Also means I'm bricking, but because they attacked with Timeless Dragon, I get to just tee off here. Put you to 2 if you don't block. And that turns off all your Ancient Tombs. I expect to block here. I don't think they can afford to go to 2. Yep. Okay, 3, 4. They're 1 mana short of getting Blast Zone up to 5. Okay, start holding the fort over there. Don't draw a good one. I drew Scalding Tarn. They didn't play a card at all. Can we get that chump block? Sweet, sweet, empty board state. Cool. I'm going to play Scalding Tarn because it's not useful in my hand, but I'm not going to fetch it because I know there's 2 good cards in the next 5 cards in my deck somewhere. Archon of Emeria. I'm not going to reveal for this because I can't counter it anyway, and I don't want to shuffle away my cards. Normally, in spots like this, you can use Counterbalance as a pseudo scry with a fetch land, like flip, doesn't counter it, but I don't want it, I'll just shuffle. I'm going to end the Touch the Spirit Realm now that they have a second Chalice in play. Let's give me another 5/5. I could have ended the Archon and put them to 2, then they can't tap Ancient Tomb. I guess that's worse for me if they draw, like, Karn right now. Uh-oh, I spoke it into existence. They did draw Karn right now. I do have 4s in my deck. I'll reveal. Flooded Strands on top. Well, there's Karn. The Ensnaring Bridge is back. Probably could have played around this. Ensnaring Bridge. Literally no 3s in my deck to fetch towards. Son of a bitch. Okay. I'm going to fetch here because Triumph of St. Catherine no longer matters. And this game is slipping away after I specifically said the thing that they might do, and then they did it. Now I got to draw another Prismatic Ending. I guess I could have just held my Prismatic Ending too, then I'm not worried about Karn. There were so many different things I could have done last turn. Ending. I don't deserve it, but please. Okay, they are turning off my red, so ending actually doesn't even help. Well, this is bad. We are suddenly losing. And I'm out of red sources, so Prismatic Ending can't remove Ensnaring Bridge anymore. I have to win with Jace now. Yikes, yeah, I threw that. I mean, obviously they drew a 3-outer in their deck, but also I could have done multiple things to mitigate it. And I will eventually just be out of lands. This Liquid Metal Coating that hasn't done anything since they wished for it is now on turn 17 of the game. And even if I draw Prismatic Ending for the Liquid Metal Coating, they could just wish for it again with Karn. Chalice on 2. Yes, use the ability. Revealed Ponder. All right, well, shuffling that away. This stings. This feels like the old blue-white life. We haven't given a shit about Chalice of the Void in so many years as blue players, and suddenly, when you build your deck like a deck from 2018 in 2024, after 6 years of Fire design, this is what happens. The prismatic endings help, though. We didn't even have that 5 years ago. All right, now they're just plucking off lands. Trinisphere, okay. I am going to use the, like, build your own scry thing. Triumph of St. Catherine, that's not a useful card for me. I am going to shuffle that away. I need Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's my last remotely relevant card here. Zephyrim, yes. How does squad work with Trinisphere? Do I have to pay the original one? Or, let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, because this is an additional cost, which means Trinisphere has already been checked. Cool. Okay, those are 3 3s that are super lethal now. I mean, I don't think they're going to have any problem getting their hand empty, but at least that did happen. They can go to 1 and play Lattice this turn. They also have more cards in their deck than me, so even if I just fart around forever, they'll win somehow. I want to see a win con, though. I am going to play out this game to the bitter end. Even if they Lattice me here, I'm going to play it out. I got to know what's in this deck to sideboard correctly. It's taking out my planes. And if they ever flinch, if they ever blink and just forget to play a card for a turn or two, I'm in there. Counterbalance still functions under Lattice. All right, sure. Miracled it. Might as well cast it. This one does cost 300 Trinisphere, though. Okay, they're charging the Blast Zone. They want this on 4 or 5. Hey, putting all my Triumphs back when I could keep flipping them is fine. Mostly I'm just watching their clock drift a full minute behind mine and pumping the air. The perfect Magic Online deck. I hope we go 4-1 and every single one of our wins was a loss that my opponent timed out on. Because we're alive for that right now. Blast Zone is on 4, which is also ready to answer Jace the Mind Sculptor. Archon of Emeria, not going to reveal. Doesn't matter. Yeah, the Teferis that would be great 3-drops in this deck also are additional answers to junk like Ensnaring Bridge. Like if I have Teferi in my deck here, I'm drawing live to a win the game button. Yeah, next turn I'll have no white sources left. And then I'll never have one again because of Archon of Emeria. They can just pick them off as they arrive. Or was a Saga? Okay. One of those finally revealed on turn 21 of the game. Good to know that that's in there. Terminus? No. I need my board, actually. Way more than they need theirs. Anointed Peacekeeper. Have a look. One of the most common mistakes that Magic players make is not focusing on what matters and getting a second Triumph of St. Catherine on the turn, like 7-8 turns ago at this point, that I fired off that prismatic ending. Did not matter. And we are only in this game at all at this point because I did not take my own advice. Every coaching client who comes to me with some recorded gameplay and we review it together and they cast a spell that doesn't matter, we talk about why it doesn't matter. And sometimes you play a 24-turn game and you just blink one time around turn 17 and then you lose because you lost sight of what matters even for a second. They got 9/9s. What can Saga tutor in this deck? It's always awkward building Saga packages around a Chalice of the Void deck. Like okay, Expedition Map makes some sense. We know they play Mox Diamond. I wonder if they have a Tabernacle. Let's kill all my lands, tab me, and then remove your own Ensnaring Bridge somehow. We're about to find out. Urza Saga. Okay, just more of that. Prismatic Ending. Thanks for showing up. This is not when I needed you. I'm really curious how my opponent's going to win, though. I can't win, but they do have to actually inflict 34 damage to me or deck me. Decking is a reasonable option. They are behind 7 cards to me, so it's like not even close. Even if they do stuff like tutor with Saga, then map, and that all takes cards out of their deck, I guess they just get a smokestack at some point and sacrifice their... Oh, okay. This doesn't matter, unfortunately, because they have Chalice on 1 and 2. All right, dang. I was about to exile their Liquid Metal Coating, but Chalice on 2. Oh, also Trinisphere. Yeah, I can't do shit. I've been just enjoying the ride for so long, I forgot about all their various lock pieces. Yeah, if they get a smokestack eventually, sack their Ensnaring Bridge, then they win. Whatever, let's see it. Shadow Spear. Okay, someone wants to attack someday. There's the smokestack. Come on, reveal Zephyrim. Zephyrim. Portent on top of my deck. Okay, that's not the one I was looking for. Okay, so we're dead. Maybe next turn, definitely 2 turns from now. If you haven't seen Smokestack, at the beginning of your upkeep, put a soot counter on it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they sack a permanent for each soot counter on Smokestack. So nothing happens this turn on the stack. Next turn, it will start sacking stuff. And they can stack it to whether they want to discard or sack a permanent or not. Like if they're ready to just kill me, they can put the soot counter on it first because they're in charge of how these things stack. So they stacked 0 and then put a smoke counter on it. It looks like they're ready to blast zone. Oh no, they're charging blast zone up to 5. Yeah, that makes more sense because smokestack is a 4, and so are all my Zephyrims. Okay, they equip Shadow Spear. They're just ready to rumble next turn. They know they're sacking their bridge. They do have 2 cards in hand. They've built the Archon of Emeria up to a point where it can attack, but the Zephyrims, unfortunately, still a little short. I'm going to sack a Triumph because they just put blast zone on 5 anyway. And that does add a card to my deck, but we're way past the point where decking's going to be any part of this. Is there any universe where they mess up? I think the Shadow Spear makes it impossible to mess up. Because even if they sack their smokestack, attack with everything, it's somehow not lethal. I find good blocks. They still gain 14, and then they're just winning from there. Wow, they sacked Ancient Tomb. They really want me to have no permanents. They're going for the flawless victory, and I respect it. Okay, Blast Zone kills my remaining Triumphs. There's now 21 cards in my deck. And they do have 3 cards in their hand. If they forget to play a card here, I actually win. They're tapping mana, though. Bad news. Touch the Spirit Realm. Oh, they channeled it. Okay. Oh, that's even smarter, yeah. Because then the Ensnaring Bridge is in. Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm not going to lose to an attacking smokestack. I'll double block that, and then we'll call it a day. Cool. All right, yeah, sweet game. Completely my fault. Once again, so that's 2 games that I have... Honestly, I think what's happening is I've been spoiled by the card quality of the last 5 years, and I forgot how stingy you have to be when you play these blue-white decks. That Prismatic Ending, it was in my hand. If I just don't cast it, then I don't lose that game. It is that simple. And 2 matches ago, when I didn't line up a counterbalance 2 turns ahead of time, all that stuff adds up. It matters. And you have to be stingy as hell when you play these decks. A Meltdown, definitely. Dress Down, definitely. Force of Negation, probably. Damping Sphere, maybe. Counterbalance, the mana values in their deck are pretty insane. So I'm going to get rid of that. This actually might be a matchup where Temporal Mastery plays. If I get an extra turn of Jacing or a surprise second attack, that's actually really good. I don't think I'm going to Damping Sphere. Terminus, I actually do like Terminus against their barrage of Hate Bears that they also play. I think some of these Portents can go. I like everything that's a creature that can apply pressure. Prismatic Ending's the best card in my deck. I'm kind of tempted to shave on a Plow, but if they have Archon, that's an important permanent to remove because it's hard to play through that. I could cut a Chrome Mox because of their Karn deck. Remember when I put 2 cards into a Chrome Mox and then they immediately cast Karn before I even tapped it for mana? That was fun. It was a cool thing that happened that game. Blood Moon does shut down Blast Zone, Urza Saga, Ancient Tomb, etc. I don't think I'm trying to Blood Moon them. I think I want access to all my cards. Okay, let's do this. I will keep this opening hand. Force blue card, a threat someday, and my best sideboard card are all here. I have to be careful with this fetch land, though. They are a wasteland deck. They kept 7. Caracas. Pithing Needle. Shit. Well, I guess I'm not being careful with this. Volcanic Island. I bet they named Jace. Yep, Jace was the name. Force of Negation. I'm happy to see that. What I'm not happy to see is Wasteland. They could do anything else. They could even Trinisphere. It would be fine. Stop. Oh yeah, please cast Chalice. Okay, sick. Alright, well, I'm going to fire off my red card at least before my mana's gone forever. Okay, Meltdown for 1. Okay, we got a 2 for 1, but I'm about to be wasted off 2 of my 3 colors. I still have Force blue card, Force blue card. We'll see how quickly this deteriorates. Anointed Peacekeeper. I do have to Force of Will this. But it's also just some dumbass creature, and I have 2 mana. Yeah, it's fine. I got time. Just have to draw a blue land, and I'm fine. If I can get this Portent on the stack, then I'm feeling good about life. They probably should name Triumph, so I don't just accidentally Miracle one here. Force of Will. Okay. Another blue card. I say this all the time when I play these sort of mana bases. You're built to not get wastelanded, but if somebody does get a wasteland off on you, it sucks. This Brainstorm's insane, though. My blue source now not only moves my hand around, but sets up Triumph into Temporal Mastery. If I just find a basic island, we're cooking. Archon of Emeria. Okay. I will Force of Will that, exiling the Portent. I can't afford to draw a fetch land and not be able to play Magic with it. Got a deck full of Plows, deck full of Triumphs. Even Zephyrim stabilizes this board. Give me some action here. Don't be a jerk. Karn. Well, I'm obviously countering this. I think I have to pitch the Temporal Mastery, even though it would have been sick to set up that Brainstorm all at once. And they think I used my Force of Will. They don't know I have another one. Okay. We're back in. Might be too late, but we are back in. I think I'm supposed to Brainstorm now in case I hit a random Miracle. Okay, did not hit a random Miracle. I did hit Swords to Plowshares, which I am going to cast. Let's take the pressure off. I see the Urza Saga coming. I'm holding Force Blue card. About to flip a Kath, who is not legendary. A lot of people, because it has a name, think it's legendary, but it's not. This is not St. Catherine. It's the Triumph of St. Catherine. Yeah, this is just a tribute. It is not the St. Catherine. Okay, they're going to have a pair of 3/3s, and they can tutor something. If they're floating mana, I hope they get Mox Diamond and jam some 4-drop into play, thinking I'm out of forces. That's how I need this game to go. Shadow Spear, interesting. Crucible of Worlds, well, I can't beat that going long. There are 3 cards and 2 mana, and I have the biggest threat. Let's just hammer into each other, see what happens. This Flooded Strand gets me halfway to my next Meltdown. The fact that I started on double basic planes not only set me back that far this game, but also means that my Mystic Sanctuary is miles away from useful, with the best sorcery in my deck just in the graveyard. Okay, so functionally, they're taking 2 a turn here, and I'm gaining 2 a turn. That was a solid draw. Not sure if I should take out this Construct or save it for a Hate Bear. Uh-oh. Well, if they play Karn here and then leave back Construct to defend it, I can tee off on it. Well, I mean, I'm not excited Karn is here at all, but I'm at least likely to kill it. And if they settle into an Ensnaring Bridge game, there's no way they can win with those in 3 minutes. Karn did make a wish. I am pretty sure, based on how this game went, they just drew City of Traders, which means anything in their hand was their last turn. And I think they would have pitched a Solitude by now. Oh, wow. Okay. They said, go ahead, kill Karn. That's not what it's here for. And I'm going to believe them. Okay, Tundra also gets me closer to the Meltdown. Okay, my next island is a really good draw. If they play Ensnaring Bridge, Construct will be a 4/4 and they'll have 4 cards in hand. Okay, now it's a 5/5, so they can attack first to deal 4 to me. Oh, or cast Solitude. Yikes! Suddenly a Solitude is here. Well, that's bad. Okay, I will lose 4 life here and then, or gain 4 life here. Maybe I was supposed to take the 4 and just see if I draw the island, because that would have been swept up for free in the Meltdown. I'm not playing great here. I'm not going to lie. I have Force of Will available. It will cost me my... Oh, wow. My Volcanic Island's gone, so I'm actually multiple lands away because Plateau doesn't turn on Mystic Sanctuary. I'm just going to Force of Will this with the Plateau. I'll get the red available. I think that beats me. It's hard to know. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary, another 1 land away again. Jace would be great. Flipping Triumph would be great. The race is on. 2.5 minutes is plenty of time to attack me a bunch of times with this Solitude if I don't make something else happen. Currency Converter, powerful. Come on, deck. Action spell. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's the action we're looking for. Okay. I went from behind to ahead. They're going to loot with Converter. Throwing away the bridge. Said that's not the plan. They realize they can't win an Ensnaring Bridge game in 2 minutes. Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay. Found an answer to that. Prismatic Ending's a good draw. Jace is a good draw. Kath, Terminus, Plow, any cantrip. So many good draws in the deck. They're converting Ensnaring Bridge into a rogue at sorcery speed. Please give me a Terminus here. Okay, Tireless Dragon also goes into the converter. Come on, Terminus. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay, what do? You bounce the Solitude and then die to Rogue token. Could also Brainstorm and then absorb some combat damage and maybe draw some useful effects. Yeah, I think I Brainstorm with this. Brainstorm. Ooh, Zephyrim. Cool. All right. Put back Brainstorm and Zephyrim. And I also just drew Prismatic Ending, which can unlock my Touch the Spirit Realm or kill Shadow Spear or kill Currency Converter. I think I'm going to try to Zephyrim up. They have to respect Jace. Wow, they're just not respecting Jace. Okay, they backed it off. They pointed 6 damage at me. Okay, they're not playing around Plow at all, which is fine. I don't have it. Good job. They make another 2/2 here. And they can Eternalize Timeless Dragon, which is bigger than my Zephyrims. I hope they play around Terminus, because I did just Brainstorm. Okay, cool. That doesn't affect Zephyrim, as we just learned. Okay, draw step, trigger, fetch. Here comes the squad. Cast with Miracle and squad it twice. Here we go. I am now suddenly ahead. My Zephyrims are bigger than their rogues and they trade with Solitude. I think what they should do is move Shadow Spear onto a rogue and then attack with Rogue and Solitude. Yep, okay. They're at least getting trades where they can trade. And I'm going to trade off. I just need to survive for 40 seconds here. Everything's going. Fire sale. Everything must go. They can Eternalize Timeless Dragon here. I still have Prismatic Ending that can get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I can Eternalize the Timeless Dragon. Eternalize specifies it's a copy without a mana cost, which means it costs 0. I could end the touch. Nah, let's... Oh, this is my draw step. Let's have this stop set still. Yeah, I'm just going to remove the 4/4 from play. Oh, right, there's a Trinisphere. Never mind. How do I do this now? That changes everything because I can't hold up Force of Will. 5, 6, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I guess I just get my Triumph back then. Whoa, make sure I tap my mana correctly. That would be embarrassing. Blue, red, white. Done. Okay. Now I have a big lifelink idiot. And they need to have a removal spell and then attack. And then attack again in 20 seconds. Yeah, 5/5 lifelink. That's fine. I have one of those too. And they can't Swords to Plowshares. I think I'm actually just going to block to make sure I don't lose next turn or this turn cycle to a Touch the Spirit Realm. Channeling Touch the Spirit Realm is kind of the only thing they could do here. And they got to do it in 3 seconds. Okay, this game was still close. I'm not going to say we lost that one, but these have been some insane grindy games. We're at least pretty sure that our deck is good at gaining a lot of life and then F6ing while your opponent has to get through that life. I'm not sure if the deck's actually, good at winning matches, though. Let's keep rolling. We are 2-1 technically. The NYSE Open is a prestigious, long-running vintage tournament based out of New York City. It's returning again this summer, June 22nd, 2024 in Plainview, New York. This 15 proxy event has a $500 entry. That's a lot of money, but what are we playing for? First place gets a Black Lotus. 2nd through 8th place get Time Twister, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. At 115 players, a playset of Bazaar Baghdad is added to the prize pool. At 135, 4 Mishra's Workshops. At 155, 4 foil Gaia's Cradle. This prize pool is better than Eternal Weekend. If you think it's worth playing for, sign up for the event on melee.gg or use the link in the video description, and I will definitely see you there. I'm on the draw for round 4. I'm going to mulligan this, just all white cards with my Volcanic Island. No Ponder, nothing to fix it. This one's good though. Keep this bottom Zephyrim. That's a card I want to see later. Sandstone Needle. Okay, this is probably Mississippi River, aka Cascade combo. Though the other day I did play against a deck that had this mana base, but they were actually mono red sneak attack and had a bunch of goblins in the deck post board. Like, I guess they're playing Mind Goblin anyway in mono red sneak attack, and then they had broadside bombardiers and stuff. This would be an insane matchup to have Teferi in my deck. All right, Throes of Chaos, and off we go. They revealed 34 cards and revealed Tybalt's Trickery. I could force the Tybalt's Trickery right now, and then they just might send it again next turn. But, I mean, what's my other plan? Just die? All right, force Tybalt's Trickery. Throes of Chaos is gone. Okay, I have 2 Swords of Plowshares in my hand to beat this hyper-redundant, efficient, stable combo deck. Beseiju, land number 5, and retrace Throes of Chaos. I have to hope that this Tybalt's Trickery whiffs, which is a thing that could happen. Like, it could reveal another Tybalt's Trickery. Okay, go ahead. How do we do? Nope, we did poorly. Okay, Creative Technique. They're going to demonstrate it. I hit Jace the Mind Sculptor, and then I lose. Okay, here we go. Down the river. They revealed another technique. Demonstrated it. I revealed Prismatic Ending. I'm not going to guess that. Yeah, this is an embarrassingly heinous matchup from... All right, yeah, we're good. We lose from here. We don't need to watch this happen. This is a horrible Game 1 matchup, for sure. Damping Sphere. I'm not leaving home without it these days. This card is just performed so well, and especially against exactly this deck. Deafening Silence, Force of Negation. I like Hull Breacher just as a flash threat, even though this deck doesn't really draw cards. Dress Down affects Trumpeting Carnosaur. So there are stress points in their combo where this might matter, but also frequently doesn't. And Blood Moon's a maybe. All right, let's see what happens here. I like my blue cards. Counterbalance Revealing 5s is actually something my deck's really good at. Temporal Mastery gotta go. Swords to Plowshares gotta go. If they have creatures in play, I think I've lost at that point, and we don't need to keep pretending there's a game to play. Is Counterbalance actually good? I mean, like, I do have a lot of 5s. I think the Chrome Moxes gotta go. Oh, Prismatic Ending hiding over here off screen. Those are not good either. Is Chrome Mox better than Prismatic Ending? Probably not. I imagine they have some sort of... What would they have? Like, they can't play Defense Grid or any such thing. And I think Dress Down is better than Prismatic Ending, just for the hit on specifically Trumpeting Carnosaur, also being blue for all my forces, also cantripping in an emergency. I think all those things are true. And then, if that's what we're doing, I also think Templar Mastery is better than Prismatic Ending. This puts me on full 0 removal for non-creature permanents. Is that okay? I think so. This matchup's pretty specific in what it's about. Let's go. Okay, Brainstorms and Solitudes. Do I want to trust Brainstorm to do stuff, or do I want to mulligan? I'm going to keep. I always trust Brainstorm. My fatal flaw. Sandstone Needle. Okay, Brainstorm, don't betray me. I put a lot of faith in you here. Triumph and Temporal Mastery. Those cards are not useful at this time. I'm just going to shuffle away some extra lands here and hope they don't send it right now. Uh-oh. City of Traders as your second land means you're going to send it right now. Arrows of Chaos. Reveals the Tybalt's Trickery. Okay. I'll try to find one of my 6 forces here. Brainstorm. And we whiffed. Cool. I will, I guess, put Temporal Mastery back in my deck with this Plains, because we're about to start flipping cards and maybe taking an Eternal Matter. Okay, whatever. Here we go. Call forth the Tempest. This is an 8-drop that cascades twice. Okay, here we go. Creative Technique. Please flip Damping Sphere. Demonstrate into Damping Sphere. Force a Negation. All right. I'll counter one of their techniques. They still got another one, though. Apex Devastator. 4x Cascade. You know, I played this deck a few times on the channel. I never had an Apex Devastator. Tybalt's Trickery. Okay, this could get weird. They just declined to cast it. Trumpeting Carnosaur. Okay, the Dress Down would have worked. Solitude can target this, but that doesn't stop it from discovering 5. Tybalt's Trickery again. Whiff, 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 whiff. Yeah, they should be countering their Call Forth the Tempest or something. Yeah, there we go. Another Apex Devastator. Stop. Oh my god. Never even seen that card in my life, and now there's 2 of them on the stack right now. Okay, they're out of Tybalt's Trickeries here. Countered Violent Outburst. What? Stop! Oh my god. Okay, hit of... Alright, Throes of Chaos is out of hits, I think. Yeah, like Violent Outburst can hit Tybalt's Trickery, but they've used all 4. So this is a whiff. What I need to happen here is them to hit a Creative Technique and demonstrate it, and I hit a Damping Sphere. But they should not actually demonstrate it if they hit one, because they're gonna win. Look at all these Cascade triggers on this deck. Hoi yoy. Okay, Carnosaur. Yeah, how about that Dress Down, by the way? All right, Threads of Chaos. Another Violent Outburst. They've revealed their deck to me multiple times now. Just whiffing on Cascades. Another Carnosaur. I mean, if Terminus is on top of my deck, we might do it here. Oh no, there's an Embercool in the pile somewhere. All right, you should not demonstrate this, but they did. Please give me Damping Sphere. Portent. All right. Portent, target, you? Does this matter? Oh yeah, it can mess up their Cascade. That's funny. Or do you shuffle before you Cascade? I don't know. Where are the cards? Maelstrom Wanderer? Yikes. I would like to shuffle these. Yes, shuffle them. Get rid of it. I guess the techniques happen first. They hit Wanderer anyway. Okay. I have 1 Terminus in my deck, and they've demonstrated their willingness to demonstrate Creative Technique despite being overwhelmingly gonna win. So I have to hope that they keep... Oh, they have the 4th Apex Devastator? Have you ever had 4 Apex Devastators on the stack at the same time against you? Okay, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Cascade triggers here. Are their Cascades whiffing? Are they out of techniques? Is the only... Like, what is happening right now? Oh, their creatures all have haste. It doesn't matter. All right, never mind. I'm dead. All right, wait. I can Solitude the Maelstrom Wanderer, then flip Terminus. And it appears that their build of the list doesn't actually have that many techniques in it. And they whiffed on Emrakul. Yeah, they're just resolving their dinosaurs at this point. Interesting. This deck has evolved a lot since I played it a while back. Yeah, they're just revealing a bunch of lands in Emrakul every time they Cascade, which means I have a 1 in 47 chance to win this game. I guess I get 2 shots at it because I also have Brainstorm. I have a 1 in 47, then 1 in 46 shot. And I have a Portent on the stack, so I get to draw an additional card here for whatever that's worth. Though if I Terminus, all these jerks are back in their deck. All right, Solitude, exiling, Triumph, take out the Haster. Okay, you gain some life. Then I go to my turn, and I flip Terminus. Draw a card for Portent, Terminus. Terminus? Come on. Do it. Deafening Silence, you fucker. Okay. Hull Breacher doesn't matter. If I ponder and see the Terminus, I can Brainstorm into it on their turn. Ponder, show me the Terminus. Force Jace. All right, we're shuffling blind here. I'm going to pass the turn. I guess I should have played the fetch land. It just removes a land from the potential pool of cards that might be Terminus. Could have been 1 out of 43 instead of 1 out of 44. Yeah, that was loose. Okay. Brainstorm in the upkeep. Terminus. Let's do it. Instead, I'll just die with Damping Sphere and Deafening Silence in my hand. Yeah, I mean, going off on turn 2 rather than turn 3 is a huge innovation. They can air quotes whiff, like their deck is just out of ways to do stuff here, but it doesn't matter because they went off a turn earlier and all these hate cards in my hand. That was actually kind of fun. Maybe against this build with Solitude, like this creature forward hasty, like Apex Devastator forward build, maybe I am supposed to leave in both Terminus just in case we end up in this board state. That was fun. On to the next one.
The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop.
On the play in the final round, opponent has revealed a Yorion Sky Nomad. I'm going to keep this hand even though I think it's kind of bad. I need a Ponder Brainstorm to really make this hand exciting, but I don't want to mulligan a functional 7 versus a Yorion deck that's guaranteed to be some grindy pile. A scrub land, okay. Could be black-white taxes, that is a common build these days. Thoughtseize, alright, see you later Jace probably. In the olden days, blue-white versus Death and Taxes was really close and an interesting matchup. And a lot of the times it came down to blue-white's banger payoffs, whether it's Monastery Mentor or Jace the Mind Sculptor, and how quickly they could stick one of those and how clear the board was when they did. These days, Skyclave Apparition exists, which didn't exist back in my time. The black splash in this deck is 4 Orcish Bowmaster, which makes Jace a whole lot worse. Come on, Ponder. All right, Brainstorm. I'm happy with that. Okay, pass the turn. Is probably worth considering main stack Brainstorm or main phase Brainstorm in case I hit a Ponder or Portent and just keep the cards flowing. Either Vial, okay. Main phase Brainstorm also plays around Orcish Bowmasters, which they don't have because they're doing other stuff, but would have been embarrassing if they did. And there's the Ponder I could have cast last turn. Zephyrim, and I think Chrome Mox got to go. I'm already shields down to Wasteland, so I'm just going to lean in. Make sure my mana is good. Terminus. I think that's good, but I'm going to save it because that can... If they overextend thinking that Mother of Runes is clear for takeoff, that's really good for me. I'm going to shuffle this. All right, I'll plow them, Mom. Hey. I'm losing this game, but at least I plowed your mom. Yeah, if I had brainstormed in my last main phase and this Ponder shuffle happened a turn earlier, I would have at least drawn one more card here and maybe hit a land drop. And these are the non-games you really worry about when you're blue-white versus Death and Taxes. If you miss a land drop or you're open to Wasteland or they hit a Thalia or like, if you don't actually play the game, it is easy for them to win. When you get set up with like double island, double plains and ignore the whole mana denial half of their deck, it's trivial. But I am way behind and feeling pretty bad about my spot here. Okay, clinging to life, staying alive, don't have to concede yet. If Vial's on 2, they did not play a Wasteland. Played another Aether Vial, which sucks because my deck is not good at answering Aether Vial. All right, might as well, not doing anything else. Fear my 3/3 were in there. My mighty 3/3 flying creature. It's like Sarah Avenger. Look at me, I'm the Death and Taxes player now. I got 2 lands in play and a Sarah Avenger. And my deck sucks. I'm Death and Taxes. They tutored Cauldron Complete. I'm wondering if I should Solitude now or fight over the Cauldron. I think things are worse for me if Cauldron's in play, and I am going to pitch the Terminus. I have higher hopes for Solitude going long. Oh wait, what the fuck am I doing? It's their turn. All right. I'm just blacked out and don't know what's going on right now. Ah, fuck. All right. On to the next game. Sorry, folks. That I just was like thinking and clicked through a phase, and then the thing I wanted to do didn't work anymore. All right. Dress Down comes in. I was busy making fun of Death and Taxes for being a shitty deck, and I'm just playing like shit. I deserve that. Okay. Force of Will is medium. Containment Priest is fine. I don't love it, but it's fine. Dress Down is good. I don't have a lot for them. I'd be pretty sick to Blood Moon them, though, actually. They're just adding colors to their mono white deck. Let's punish that a little bit. I'm going to shave a Chrome Mox. This seems like the type of place where Temporal Mastery could have its day in the sun. And I just think Chrome Mox is really bad. Sorry, Dylan. I don't want to go down cards in almost any matchup. Like if we queued into initiative 4 times in this league, the Chrome Moxes would probably look good. But when you're just in your 4th out of 5 grindy as shit matchups, feels bad. Okay, the one-up Chrome Mox is here with a bunch of miracle cards that don't help me in no white mana. I'm going to mulligan. Okay, this hand is much more interesting. I'm going to keep this and get rid of Temporal Mastery. Hopefully that will be able to shine at some point in this match. Scalding Tarn, Basic Island, Portent target me. The nuts. Ponder, Portent, Swords to Plowshares. Okay, I'll take a Plow and another Ponder here. They're not the land I was looking for, but I do get to look at a lot more lands, and now I'm holding 2 removal spells. And I'm playing on basics. Thoughtseize, whatever. Have a good look. Gaze upon your demise. Also, back in the olden times, Yorion didn't exist, and I think Yorion might just completely flip this matchup to the pretty bad zone. Yorion's really good in grindy mirrors, and like I was saying before, this matchup was really close and interesting anyway, and now it might not be close or interesting anymore. Ponder. Okay. I am going to take this land. Locking up land number 3 is more important than anything else that might happen here. Thalia, okay, she could die. I'm going to draw the Portent, and then I'm going to plow Thalia and cast Portent. Basic Plains, plow Thalia, Portent, target me. They're on basics here, so the Blood Moon I boarded in is pretty embarrassing. These cards, God, these Temporal Masteries, or the one Temporal Mastery. For being a one of in the deck, I've seen it so many times, and I have wanted it 0 of the times I saw it. Okay, so I could lock up my Ponder here. I could Temporal Mastery, I guess. But that doesn't even do anything. I just like cast Ponder, play Mystic Sanctuary tapped, and then pass the turn anyway. Whatever, let's high roll. I will draw the Ponder now, flip Temporal Mastery, and play Ponder on the following turn, and then get an extra turn, and then anything could happen. If Ponder finds Jace, that's actually sick. Prismatic Vista, more basic lands. Recruiter of the Guard. I'm not going to fight over that. They've seen the Force Dress Down in my hand. They know I can fight over something, so they're setting up the long-term plan to beat this interaction. Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. I'm going to flip the big miracle here. Yeah, let's go. Barely even good, but if Ponder finds Jace, I know land number 4 is in here. Triumph. Okay, so Sanctuary, Triumph, Tundra. Play my land for turn. Go to my bonus turn. I could flip Kath and represent Dress Down. That wasn't the worst it could have been. And then the Mystic Sanctuary underneath. I do have 3 lands, so I can put Temporal... Oh no, that exiles itself. Damn it. All right, never mind. I can't put Temporal Mastery back on top. I also should have cast this off the Tundra, so I can't get wasted off Dress Down. And that was kind of like using Uro. And +1 land and a card deeper in my deck. If I just chose to put green mana in my deck, Uro would have done it here. Okay, moment of truth. Do I think this Kath can go coast to coast? Probably not. I could just let Swords of Plowshares resolve. I guess I have to do that. That's just one of those spots, because if their hand is like Orcish Bowmaster, Aether Vial, like, I don't know, I can't even name 4 cards that their hand would have to be, like land, Bowmaster, Aether Vial. And even then, Kath has to wade through 3 1/1s to get anywhere. Yeah, I just have no faith in that being a thing that's going to happen. Mystic Sanctuary could pick up a Ponder. I got to dig here. I can Dress Down the Bowmaster, or just force it. Fetching in my end step. They play the Surveil land. Yep, there it is. Into Plains. Lion Sash. Do I care about this? Not really. Oh, it does mess up Triumph of St. Catherine on the loop. It's also a giant creature. Yeah, whatever. You can have a Lion Sash. I don't think I could Force of Will that when Yorion is face up. Force of Will's really good when you get ahead. Like, if I stuck Jace on turn 3 or 4 and then forced their interaction for it, that's where you want Force of Will versus Death and Taxes, and it's bad in basically every other spot. But I had to leave some in, and it sucks that one was just in my opening hand. Dress Down. This is not a great use of Dress Down, but it's not nothing either. I'd love a Terminus, a Triumph. Oh, there's that heckin' Blood Moon. Okay, sure. 1, 2, 3 Triumphs on top. Don't shuffle. Oh, wait. This was Ponder, not Portent. I'm looking at the port and resolving Ponder. Damn it. All right. My brain is clearly goo at this point. Okay, Force Blue card in my hand. I have a 5/5 lifelink I could play. This Triumph's supposed to be on top of my deck, not in my hand. Cabal Therapy. Oh, they know about Force of Will, so good job. And then they have plenty of awful creatures to stack, because their deck is all awful creatures. This Cabal Therapy is going to get 2 cards here, all day, every day. Yep, Force of Will's gone. If Triumph was on top of my deck to battle here, maybe this would be more interesting. Lion Sash is just bigger than Triumph, though, and Eats are on the way out. Yeah, they're just chewing up the graveyards now, pushing damage. This is exactly the type of matchup where you don't want random shitters like Zephyrim and Temporal Mastery in your deck, because every card has to be good. Losing to Death and Taxes is my litmus test, for the most part, for a control deck. This is not a matchup you should ever lose if you have Brainstorm in your deck. And we're getting smoked 2 games in a row. All Therapy's on the stack. They seem to be in the tank about which of these cards they're more worried about. I don't really want to cantrip into Orcish Bowmaster, but also they have Triumph Beat and don't care about it just with Lion Sash on board. I'd be inclined to take Portent here if I was my opponent. And the last game and a half, I have been my opponent. Opponent said in the chat they couldn't name the Triumph. Is it literally not on the list? That would be so embarrassing. Okay, well, Jace the Mind Sculptor is a good card. And they're either playing the long game and just baiting me, or they actually can't name Warhammer cards because they're not on the card list. That would be a weird function of whatever this licensing agreement is. However, we have reached a spot where Jace Bounce Lion Sash does stabilize the board, because then their creature's small again. Oh, okay. Or they could just exile my creature. Oh no, I can't name the 40K card. They're just gonna exile it anyway, idiot. Cool. Good game. I can't name it because I'm too smart. All right, taking $1 million here. I'm at 7. There's this embarrassing Blood Moon that should not be in my deck. I'm going to bounce the Lion Sash. Jace gets attacked down to 1, and the Brainstorm doesn't really work, because then I die. If the top card in my deck right now is Terminus, we're actually in a very exciting spot. If they have a second Bowmaster in their hand, it doesn't matter. Okay, is there some equipment they can tutor that does 1 extra damage right now? Nope, Batterskull. Okay, flip Terminus. Even Swords of Plowshares is fine. Just something to remove this Bowmaster and let me activate Jace would be great. Come on, deck. Deck full of cards. Flip one of them. Swords of Plowshares. Terminus. Terminus. Solitude. I'll freaking take a Solitude. Solitude, let's go. Kill this Bowmaster. Now I could plus myself and try to keep Jace alive for a turn, or just brainstorm and get paid. Interesting. So they tutored for Batterskull. Does that mean they already have Cauldra, or that they think I would have a removal spell that I would use on Stoneforge Mystic? I'm going to brainstorm. There's Terminus and a backup Jace. Okay, kids. Okay. Terminus. I'm going to put back Blood Moon and Terminus. Okay. Clinging to life. Desperately. But I have resolved one of the powerful permanents that tend to be really good against decks like this. Okay, I go to 10. If they tee off on Jace, and then I Terminus re-Jace them, we're back ahead somehow. They're attacking Jace. I hope they just put like 3 creatures in play right now. The cool thing about Terminus is that it does not care about this instant speed Batterskull, because you either lose the Stoneforge before you can Batterskull, or you lose the Germ after you put Batterskull in. If they're holding a Bowmaster, we're going to lose this game. But if they're not, I feel okay. Okay, something's happening with the Stoneforge. They would rather have Batterskull in play, not equipped to anything, than have it in their hand. Okay. And that makes Flicker Wisp better. Hey, there's reasons to do this. I'm not just being insane here. All right, big Jace. Any flash creature too. Like, I'm already dead to Bowmaster. Let's just go. Let's just go. Just tap your mana. Show it to me. Show it to me. Yes! Asshole. Okay, I'm dead. All right, cool. We're out of here. Good game. Okay, a 2-3 record where both of our wins, it was the opponent timing out when they were probably ahead. So, okay, this deck needs work for starters. I think that Triumph is cool. I think that Terminus is cool. I think that Counterbalance and Jace are cool if you're going to do this. I think that Zephyrim sucks. I think Temporal Mastery is too cute and not going to be good enough. And the fast mana thing, you just don't recoup the cards well enough. And like I said, I did change some stuff, like the Counterbalance was my addition, the Jaces were my addition from Dylan's original build. But I don't think, like, Dylan had 2 Entreat the Angels on top of the 2 Zephyrims. And I don't think that just having 5 or 6 mana in play and doing everything in your power to set up a big Entreat the Angels is how you can play this deck. If you want to do that, you should just play Boros Initiative in terms of just putting all your eggs in one basket and just flinging it. The whole point of this deck is that you don't have to do that. In fact, it's the opposite. If I wanted to continue exploring just blue-white adjacent, technically Jeskai, blue-white main deck, Miracles, I would probably go heavier on Solitude, cut Zephyrim, cut Temporal Mastery, cut the 3 Chrome Moxes, add a bunch of 3-drops for counterbalance to Fairies and Narsets. You probably want 4 Prismatic Ending because you don't get Leyline Binding. The Teferi does help in that regard, though, so you are adding more of that anyway. Maybe a second Mystic Sanctuary. That's where I'd start to take the deck. This deck, no matter how you build it, is going to be pretty soft to Orcish Bowmaster, and you just got to respect that and figure out spots where you can play around it and spots where you can't. But there's definitely no room for cute cards in this deck. Cards are too good now. This deck would have been cute 5 years ago, and now I think it's just questionable. But I think you can make it less cute and reasonable if you dedicate all the slots to just being good cards. This was fun. I do love this gameplay, even if it is outdated at this point. Everyone, thanks for watching. Dylan, thanks for the deck. Everyone, thanks for watching again. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, do all those things. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.